Hi guys, this is Shilpi Jain, your mentor for ACCA at VG Learning Destination. One of the most obvious questions that students ask us is about the total cost of ACCA. So to break it down for you step by step and in a full disclosure, do watch this full video. So what you have to do is that you have to understand there are two aspects of the fees. A, that will be payable to the ACCA body, and B, that will be payable to your training provider. So let's begin with part A of the fees first, which will be payable to ACCA body. So as soon as you register, you will be paying the initial registration amount to ACCA, which will be £89. For ease of everyone's reference, what you could do is just multiply the fees which I am saying in pounds with an approximate 100 rupees conversion value. Obviously, the valuation, will fluctuate every day with the exchange rate between the GBP and the INR. But for ease of reference, we can multiply everything with 100 to find out the approximate INR calculation. So, initial registration to begin with is approximately rupees 9,000, that is 89 GBP. The next fees that you will be required to pay to ACCA would be the exemption fees that you will pay to ACCA. Now, depending upon your level of entry to ACCA and the number of exemptions that you are gaining, you will be required to pay the exemption fees to ACCA, which generally is equivalent to the exam fees for each paper. So, supposingly you're getting, say, 9 paper exemption based on the fact that you're a qualified CA. So, you would be required to pay the full fees of these 9 papers to ACCA. However, when you enroll with VG Learning Destination, we provide you with a discount code that entitles you to not pay the full exemption fees to ACCA, but a very reduced amount to ACCA, which is like literally, peanuts in comparison to the full fees. Then the next fees you will be required to pay is your exam fees to the ACCA, which will be required to be paid as and when you book your ACCA papers. So supposingly in March you will be appearing for one paper. Which paper you will be appearing for, you will just only pay the relevant fees for that paper to ACCA. Now the fees itself is different for every for every level of ACCA. So the exam fees for your skills level paper, for that matter, is £129. For your knowledge level papers is £84, and for your professional level papers varies around £164 per paper. But for SBL, obviously, which is like an amalgamation of two papers, it is on the higher side, around £227 as we speak today, which is the 14th of November 2022. Obviously, ACCA reserves the right to change these fees at any point of time as per their sole discretion. So just a disclaimer, in terms of why I am telling you the date and the fees as at date. The next fees which you will be required to pay every year to the ACCA body as soon as you register for the course will be your annual subscription fees, which currently is £135. Again, like I said, this fees works on a calendar year basis. From January to December, this is the most confusing element of the entire ACCA fees, because students tend to get confused that which part of the fees I need to pay when, as and soon as I recover. So like I said, it works on a calendar year basis, so it is applicable from January to December of every calendar year, depending upon which month of the year you are enrolling for it. You will be required to pay the annual subscription fees to ACCA. Again, if you register through VG Learning, there is some annual subscription waivers and benefits that the team provides to you. So reach out to the team for your scholarship. Again, this is going to be dependent upon your entry level, when the date in which you are enrolling, and what is the number of exemptions you are enrolling, and what is the benefit that you will be getting from VG Learning. Now, apart from this annual subscription which you are required to pay, even as students, once you qualify with your entire ACCA module, that is, you've done your 13 papers, you've done your 36 months of experience, you've done with your ethics module, which is the EPSM module, which is again another paid module by ACCA, which is around £71 for the 20 hours of EPSM training as we speak today. When you are done with these three, you become an ACCA member. Once you become an ACCA member, you pay the ACCA membership fees to ACCA, which is approximately 270 pounds as we speak today. Now, this is all the fees which you will be required to pay to ACCA. And this is something which you will have to pay to ACCA regardless of, what is your, journey start time, when you are enrolling, when you finish. But yes, this is like a full disclosure of the fees that will be paid by you. Now, moving on to the part B of the fees, which is the fees that you have to pay to your learning provider like VG Learning. So, like I said, there is going to be a training fees which is going to be involved for the number of papers that you are training, you are taking from your tuition provider. So, we have packages for all the papers in one go. You can also avail packages level wise. So, you're only remaining with professional level papers, so you can only enroll for those 4 papers training fees with VG Learning as well as for the books cost you also have to pay separately. Now, books, again, we are an approved learning partner of ACCA, so we only provide the ACCA approved content to you, which you can purchase from us again at hugely discounted prices. So each level combo is available via VG Learning around 3,000 to 3,500 per subject is where usually the book cost is. So that is literally the entire fees that will be paid by you towards your complete ACCA journey. Obviously, depending upon your exemptions and your start time in ACCA, your total fees will vary accordingly. Then, depending upon where you are starting off your ACCA journey, number of exemptions, I would request each one of you to please reach out to the team at VG Learning for a one-on-one detailed discussion regarding your exemptions, your fees which will be payable, and the exclusive scholarship that you will be getting from VG Learning. So what are you waiting for? Contact us now.